Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Soul Care Nomad. My name is Matthew Wilbanks, and I'm joined here by my best friend, almost. We're getting there pretty close. Uh, in my
Best
mentor.
friends talk to each other more than once a month, Matt.
Hey, you know what? We can do that now because I have moved back to DFW. As you can see, I'm in a very different place. My apartment that I'm living in is very small, so this is technically my hallway. But it's the only place I could put my desk. So,
No, we
just
can
take
do
what you can
that.
get. But Doctor, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm good. I just finished or just submitted my ACBC addictions final draft after Francine tore it apart.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes the red
Francine,
pen is needed.
Josiah, and someone. I had three people commenting, and I ended up texting Francine like, "Who am I supposed to listen to?" Like, there's so many
The,
comments. I felt stupid. Sorry,
hey,
she goes, just pick two. And I was like, well, I'll pick Francine because I like you. And I know Josiah. I don't know this other person. I just,
wow, wow.
there's, well, I took actually that, I forget what that girl's name was. She actually, I didn't agree with probably half of her suggestions. I'm like,
Hmm.
bro, I'm the expert. Like, I'm keeping this in. But then she put something that was really helpful and it really reframed the structure of what I submitted. So
Yeah,
I did listen to her on the restructuring part.
you just threw everything else. Hey, so that's not the baby with the bathwater. So that's something at least.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I have been doing some editing of my own. Tim, my buddy Tim, is writing the devotionals for the SBTC Youth Camp M3, and so I have been reading through his devotionals, and I've added a couple red ink parts my own, so I get the editing feel, but it is it's a new semester, Dr. O. You have kicked off all of your classes this semester, so now we have to figure out how many classes are you teaching?
four?
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Holy cow. My heart almost skipped a beat. I was like, first Friday of the month, I have a PDS class to teach, but I'm actually not teaching it this semester. Holy cow. I was like, I'm going to be on an airplane. But, there's a method to the madness if I plan things. I'm good.
Right. I mean,
I did
again,
triple book yesterday, though, something. I
I
got
was on campus yesterday, and I was like, I wonder if Dr. O's here. I was like, nah, he's probably pretty busy, and I was right.
I would have made time for you. Well,
Mm, are you
I
sure?
would have tried. Yeah, I, I triple booked. I'm sitting down with Dr. Shirley for something, and I get a text message from my buddy Mike, and he was like, "We still meeting?" And I'm like, "This is his exact text. Uh, Still on for it." And it's crazy.
Mm.
He no, he didn't give me a heads up. He goes, "Are we still on for today?" I'm like, "Crap," with Dr. Shirley.
Very nice.
And then I get back to my office and I have an email. Hey, you missed our Zoom. Oh crap! I need a better assistant. Me taking care of my own stuff is an absolute disaster this semester.
Well, I'm not gonna do it.
No one wants to be my assistant. Like I even asked Grace.
Yeah, she already
She
does
said,
enough for you.
Grace was like, "No way."
Mm.
Am I that hard to work with? Seriously?
It's not that you're hard to work with. It's like you said, you just overbook yourself to where there is so much that you know people keep up in their own lives, and then you have all these other things that you're doing. It's like a dedicated job. It's,
I asked Nicole, do, do you want? She's supposed to help me book all of my speaking engagements this year,
Mm.
and you want to know how many times I've actually asked her for permission?
Um, Twice.
Yeah, well, no, actually once, and it was just
Oh,
because the organization is flying her and James out. I was like,
oh,
hey,
okay. Yeah.
I kind of already agreed to this, but we're going to Florida.
Oh my gosh. I mean, if she probably didn't have too many qualms with that. So,
No, she didn't. I
yep.
mean, yeah, she's good.
Oh,
I realize that I can keep doing all these speaking things as long as I buy her stuff.
all right. Single guys out there, if you want to keep your wife happy, just buy her stuff when you go on business trips you never tell her about. Is that what we're trying to say in this episode?
No, well, she knows about them. She
Mm-hmm.
just. All right, we'll close this out and then we'll move on. So last trip to Japan was 2 weeks instead of 1 week, and she was kind of not complaining, but just you know, she misses me and all this fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought her Miyamoto pearls, which are a big deal in Japan. Like they're
Mm.
nice nice pearl necklace.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You can go to Japan whenever you want." She was like, "Stay longer."
Oh my gosh. Uh, well, that will bring us into our topic that we're going to discuss today, which pretty much, the wide range of emotions we've already experienced in this episode. Is what we're going to be talking about is our emotions and how that not only pertains to counseling, but how it pertains to a lot of the current events that is going on. And Dr. O, you've taught a class at the seminary called Emotions and Addictions, which you spend the first part of that semester talking about emotions. And so, as a Christian, it's not that we're supposed to be completely devoid of emotions, although you go to a lot of churches and that's kind of what it looks like. But where do emotions play into really our Christian experience?
Emotions are real. We don't neglect emotions or how we quote unquote feel. I never do in my teaching or counseling, but we cannot let our emotions rule our lives, or
Mm-hmm.
we cannot allow our feelings to lead us into sin. And I wrote a blog. I posted it. And I'll be honest, I actually did not post it on social media because I'm not going to catch a bunch of junk for it, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna hurt people's feelings, and I just don't want to deal with it. Like, I wrote it, put it out there. If you're a regular listener or reader or whatever, you'll see it. You know where I stand on things. But I just didn't want the social media attention.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to back and forth with people,
Yeah.
because I also realized is I can't change anyone's mind on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So someone will say, "So why did you write it?" Well, it's also affirm those who feel this way. You're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
That you're not weird. You haven't lost your mind when you see, um, people posting that are feelings based. You're like, wait a second, that's not biblical.
Mm-hmm.
And being, "Eh,
Yeah.
that person probably shouldn't have said that because
Mm-hmm.
it's not biblical, or it's half truths or leaving out context." I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can frame any current event to make it match your political leanings. And at the same time, you can pretty much take any current event and make it match how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can't do is take current events and always match it to what the Word of God says.
Yeah.
And that was a basis of that article I wrote. And the title was The Moral Collapse of Untethered Feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And we are a feelings and emotion driven society. We're an emotion and feelings based church,
Yeah.
what we see in our churches.
Hmm.
And the one thing I've always said in my classes, I don't care how you what you think. I don't care how you feel. Show me what the Word of God says.
Yeah.
So that was the basis of that article.
Yeah. Because one of the things is obviously, like you said, we're an emotion driven society, and it's difficult to really look at anything and not have an emotional response. But I think you brought up a good point. The church is like this as well. I mean, it's really easy as a minister to try to manipulate emotions and feelings in a service.
Did,
Um,
hold on. Did you see like there was a pastor who like called out his church because he didn't get the emotional response that he desired when he said a line?
See, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's
Did you see that?
crazy. I didn't see that, but it feeds pretty nicely into it of just this, like, it's so bad. Because I know, I watched a video that was a clip from a talk that Dr. Kreider and the staff at Southwestern, the Church of or School of Church Music, that
Mm.
Dr. Burgraff was talking about how we sing songs in churches today that are emotion driven, and they're in such a high register that it makes it difficult for regular church people to sing, and it's kind of like this big grandiose show rather than a time of worship. And sure, we can go the route of the media is trying to emotionally charge all of its things, like sure, yeah, that's real, but in the church it is just as manipulative and trying to get, you've got the clip of who was it, I don't even remember, um but there's this guy who was like, oh, we got to close the church doors because we didn't meet our giving goals for this Sunday. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I I just texted you the one.
Yeah, I'll look at it when we're not recording anymore. um
You can pause and edit. You do this all the time anyway. I'm just
it's
giving you a
true.
hard time.
um but that's just kind of the thing, is when we're emotion driven, then everything is a big deal. And I saw a post, I don't remember who it was, but it was like, if everything's a big deal, you're going to be drained all the time. You're not going to be able to function properly.
Well, I think that's also part of the the social media culture that we live in. And
Mhm.
what I mean by that, there's always a newest, hottest. Like the blog I posted yesterday, which was Thursday. I think yesterday I posted or Wednesday.
Mm.
It's already out of the news. Like I wrote it on Sunday. No, I wrote it on Saturday. My editor, Francine, best friend, BFF. She's actually my BFF. I talk to her more than I talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just
it's not
joking.
Gady anymore?
Oh, it's still Gady.
Okay, sure.
I talk to Gady every couple hours. I talk to Francine once a week for what she's editing for me.
Uh-huh.
But I wrote it on Saturday. I sent it to Francine Saturday. She had some conference she was speaking at, so she didn't get it back to me till late Tuesday night, I think. But by the time Wednesday rolled around when I finally uploaded it, we're on to something else.
Mhm.
And we live in this culture that we burn hot on a topic for 24, 48 hours, and then we're on to the next thing. And you're right. If we keep going with those cycles of what's the newest, hottest topic that I need to get all about,
Right.
you're going to get tired, dude. You know, it, and people are like, well, we've been in Minnesota for, I don't know, how long has the Minnesota craziness been going on? 3 weeks?
Something like
Four
that.
weeks? All right. How many cycles of things that have gotten people up in arms have we gone through in those 3 weeks just in Minnesota?
Mm.
We went from fraud, then we went to the lady who got unfortunately killed. Hey, any life loss matters to me.
Mm.
Okay. And I'm going to put my cards on the table. If she wasn't breaking the law, then she'd be alive today. Same with the nurse that got shot the other day. If you weren't breaking the law, you'd be alive today. Like, that's the reality of things. And I think that's when we allow our emotions or our political leanings to override some basic hard truths, we forget that none of this would be going on if we followed the law.
Yeah.
If you don't like the laws, you have every right to protest, but it doesn't give you the right to break the laws.
Mm-hmm.
You want to change laws? Go talk to your congressman. Go talk to your senator. Go vote at the ballot box. But just because you don't like how you feel about a certain topic doesn't give us a right to break laws.
Yeah.
And I think that's the basic, not just um, the laws that have been established by the state, but also like the biblical laws
Mm-hmm.
of following authority. And I'm there in my lifetime. I believe that there have been in my lifetime since I've been of age to vote. That's what I'm going to go with. There have been more presidents that are on the opposite side of the aisle than where I lean. I've lived in the state of Hawaii, which leans blue, not leans blue, is blue.
Quite
I've
blue.
lived in California, that is blue. And I live in Texas, that leans red. There have been things that those in the position of power that have done that have upset me greatly, emotionally, feelings based, whatever. You want to know how many times I've broken the law?
Quite a few, probably.
Well, shut up. In regards, in regard to not liking policy,
Hmm.
how many times I've broken the law?
0.
Zero. Okay, there was one law that basically destroyed my family business, put us out of business,
Mm-hmm.
basically tripled our expenses. Angry. Family business around for 55 years. My grandma started it. My mom ran it. I was part of it. 55 years. Certain laws were passed that basically bankrupted our business. Did I break anything? Did I go threaten anyone? Did I allow my feelings to break the law? The answer is no. You want to know why, Matt? Because we are a nation of laws.
Mm-hmm.
If we stop following the law, we are going is going to be anarchy.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. So here, part of my responsibilities at the school is I've got to do a devotional with the guys whenever I'm working on either Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. And with everything that's going on, what I've started to do is I've been walking through Psalm 119, which, Dr. O, what you recommended I do when I was going through all of my trash in the last church I was at. But one thing is I wanted to hit on is that King David, the ultimate authority in Israel, fell under the ultimate authority of God. And we read Psalm 119, and it is a beautiful passage that talks about how great David's life has improved because of the law of the Lord. How happy he is, how blessed he is. And again, we get to Psalm 119:9. How does a young man keep his way pure? By obeying God's law. How do we keep our lives pure from anything that is even an appearance of sin? Is we obey God's law and we follow it to the best of our ability. And I think that's kind of the big unrest thing is the authority is now an emotionally charged word. But there have been centuries of people who have lived under authority and have just thrived. And it's not because things have been authoritarian or have been more free, more liberal, or anything like that. It's because whatever system you're in, you ultimately have to obey the law of the Lord. And when you do that, it's actually a benefit and a blessing to you. Like if we were to give homework in an episode, that would be my homework that I give, is go and
Oh,
read through Psalm 119 because it is a good thing. It's crazy, I know.
I know, right? That was your only assignment.
And I read through that in that weekend. I read through it probably 5 times. And every time I read it, there was another verse that jumped out at me that I was like, man, I really needed to see this. And then I read it again, man, I really needed to see this. And
Yeah.
it's incredible how living and active the Word of God is.
And I need to throw this out there for those. I said my political leanings, and you're like, well, so what am I supposed to do? The laws aren't being followed for those who've been persecuted, for those that are seeking asylum. Well, then change the laws.
Mm,
I'm not saying we cannot object to what's going on.
hmm
Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But there, there's steps that need to be done to do it lawfully, to follow and respect the law.
hmm
I'm and anyone who knows me, I'm all for caring for those who have been treated poorly,
hmm
for those that are going through unjust processes. But I'll tell you what doesn't work is supporting people who are unlawless. And I just need to say this, Matt. I gotta put it out there because I don't think, we're basing things off of feelings.
hmm
Facts don't have feelings. Okay, so I need to throw this out there.
hmm
If you're listening to this, man, John, you don't care about the persecuted. You don't care about the injustices that are taking place in Minnesota, X, Y, and Z. I need to throw out some. These are just hard facts.
hmm
Okay, am I? And I'll be honest. Am I for certain law enforcement agencies um, going after the person who's been here for 30 years, didn't follow the law? I'm not for it, but that person broke the law. I'm not going to riot over it either. However, this is what is being, it's called Operation Metro Surge. Okay, I need to throw this out there because I don't think a lot of people have actually researched what's actually going on.
hmm
Okay, and for those who said, "Oh, ICE took the 5-year-old boy," they didn't. His dad ran, and they took care of that kid.
hmm
And while certain other administrations put kids in cages, left them alone, this administration actually took that child to a library and they sat with him and they fed him and they took care of him. You can tell I'm annoyed. Here are the people that some of my brothers and sisters in Christ are defending. And I'll tell you why this annoys me. I have an innocent 5-year-old son by the name of James.
hmm
My job is to protect my son. That is who we're supposed to be protecting. That 5-year-old little boy that the media posted, that's my son as well.
hmm
Okay? This is who has been detained, and we're fighting for not not arresting these people. They're from Laos, gang affiliations, Oriental Lo, the Asian boys. I know what the Asian boys are. I'm not stupid. Okay? Mexico, Somalia, Guatemala, Vietnam, Cuba, Ecuador, Sudan, El Salvador, Burma, and Sierra Leone. Why were they arrested? Are you ready for this one, Matt?
Hit me with it.
Violent crimes, homicide, assault, domestic violence, or gang affiliation. You want to guess what the percentage is for that one, Matt?
Mm, over 50%.
No, well, if we add in some of the other, 35.4. But
Okay.
let's get into sex offense, rape, criminal sexual misconduct, 13.2%. Drugs, 26.9%. Fraud, theft, illegal reentry, trafficking, sex trafficking, 21.2%. DUI, DWI, 3.3%. For those that are losing your mind over what's happening, that's who you're defending.
Mm,
That's facts.
yeah.
Sorry. You want to defend the innocent? You want to defend those who can't take care of themselves? My job is to protect my 5-year-old son.
hmm
Now, let me ask you this, and close with this one as well. Well, if we put them in jail, then who's going to take care of their kids? So what about those that are here legally that commit those same crimes and they go to jail? What about their kids?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm going to get off my short bully pulpit. You can take over because my emotions are running right now.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I need to be honest.
Mm,
My emotions are hot on this topic. Why? Because I'm the ones who deals with this stuff.
mm.
I counsel. Oh, so let's go back to this list, Matthew, real
Okay.
quick. Okay, let's
Okay.
go back to this list. Have I counseled someone who committed homicide? Yes. Assault? Yes. Domestic violence? Yes. Gang affiliation? Yes. Sex offenses? Yes. Rape? Yes. Criminal sexual misconduct? Yes. Fraud, theft, illegal reentry. I haven't hit that one yet. Trafficking? Yes. Drugs? Yes. DUI? Yes. I counsel all of them. Every single people group that was just mentioned here,
Mm-hmm.
I counsel them. And you know what I tell them to do?
Mm.
Submit to the law.
Yep.
You do the crime, you do the time.
Yep.
And while you're doing the time, I can come alongside you. I can love you. I can treat you as an equal. But if you committed the crime, you got to do the time.
Mm.
And, and here's the thing: a lot of people who are defending these individuals, they've never sat across a table from a murderer.
Yeah.
You don't know the fear that it is to sit across the table from a murderer that you know is capable of taking another human life. I do. I know what it's like to work with guys that are in gangs. You don't. I do.
Mm-hmm.
You do not want those individuals roaming free on our streets. And if you think that we're supposed to show all these people unmerited or just ridiculous amounts of forgiveness and grace, you start counseling them in your home.
Mm.
You allow them into your house. And until you're willing to take that step to invite individuals who have committed these types of crimes into your house by yourself, you have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Mm.
To be told, hey man, that gangbanger that you were counseling the other day and you got in the middle of that fight he was about to get into, that the other gang member behind you that you turned your back to had a knife in his hand. All of these individuals defending people who've committed these crimes, you have no idea what you're defending.
Mm.
None. And when we defend those who have committed crimes, and we don't want them to do the time, you put my son's life in danger. And at that point, I will no longer remain silent.
Yeah. All right. Good job. Not too fiery. All right. Pretty good. Pretty good. I want to end it off. Um, I want to end it off in Romans 12 because I think this is very applicable to our situation. Um, Starting in verse 12, rejoice in hope, be patient in affliction, be persistent in prayer. Obviously, there's a lot of hurt that's going on. There, like you said, there are families that are being separated, but for whatever reasons it may be, whether people are um, being incarcerated or even for people who are attending these riots and they have family members that are being taken from them in the riots. Like there's a lot of things that's happening. So what do? We need to rejoice in hope, number one, because this world is not the end all be all. There is more to this life than what we see, and that's as counselors what we need to get people to recognize, which I know that's what you did when you were in those jails busting up a gang fight, that you weren't thinking about what those guys were worried about. You were thinking about, hey, I need to make sure that these guys are alive so that I can continue to counsel them and bring the Lord to them. Like I know that was what was on your mind. Be rejoice in hope, be patient in affliction. again, for you and your family, having those laws that took away that your family business. I know your mom was probably not okay with it, but she continued to work in whatever way that she could because she is patient in affliction, because that's just the fruit of the Spirit living inside of her through Christ. And then finally, be persistent in prayer. This life isn't going to get better without Christ. It's not. This country's not going to be able to unify itself without Christ. And because of social media, because of what we've seen, there's nothing we can do really. For us in Texas, there's nothing we can do in Minnesota. For us in Texas, there's nothing we can do for all of the violence that's happening south of the border, all the tribal warfare that's happening in Africa. There's nothing we can do except
Right.
take our worries, take our fears, put our emotions at the feet of Christ in prayer and go, God, you're the one who can do something about it. You're the one that can move mountains. And I pray in this moment that you would, because I can't. And I think that's really what we need to be focusing on here is when our emotions run crazy for things that are out of our control, really. If we don't take it to the feet of Christ and we don't really cast our cares upon him because he cares for us, as first or second Peter says, I don't remember which one, then we're just going to hold those emotions and it's going to eat us and kill us on the inside. And then that's going to cause our actions to be very hurtful, very unfruitful. And so in this one verse right here, we need to share this burden, because what it says in verse 13, share with the saints in their needs and pursue hospitality. If you can do something, do something. If you're able to serve people in your immediate context, serve those people. If you can do things in your local church, find ways to benefit your community for the sake of the gospel, not for the sake of feeling better about yourself, for the sake of the gospel. And then verse 14, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse. Be persistent in prayer was mentioned before it said, bless and do not curse. Why? It's very hard to bless somebody and not curse them if you're not persistent in prayer. If we're not constantly taking our emotions, taking our hurt to the feet of Christ, we're just going to feed off of those emotions and we're going to go down a spiral. In any sin that it can be, whether it be the sin of unrighteous anger to where you're just mad all the time, or even taking it a step further into actually acting on those things and being just an angry person online and at a protest or riot or whatever. If we're not taking to things in prayer, our blessings are going to be curses.
Hmm.
And that's not what we're called to do as Christians. And so, if anything, when your emotions run hot, take a step back, turn off your phone, turn off the TV, whatever it is, and just pray. Pray, number one, for yourself, that God would help you kind of control your emotions. And then, after that moment, whatever is on your heart, lay that out before the Lord as it is. Not anything doctored. Just lay your heart out before the Lord, because He already knows. He already sees it. But when you lay your heart out, that helps you recognize the situation that you're in. So that's all I got. Dr. O, do you have any final thoughts?
What's going on sucks.
Mm,
We should never, it should grieve us that we're in a position where things like this have to take place.
mm,
It should. I'm not blaming anyone for where we're at. It was red and blue that allowed immigration to get to the whatever. It is both our faults, regardless of political leanings.
mm,
But we need to remember that America is one of the last nations that is a nation of laws. And that if we lose that, if we lose the love of justice, if we lose the love of respecting the laws, what kind of world are we leaving for 5-year-olds out there?
mm,
What kind of world is it going to be if James is living in a world where, we're not going to follow the laws that we don't like?
mm,
I know what happened. What would have happened if our family business didn't follow the laws that the government put in front of us? We'd be in jail,
Hmm.
and we'd rightfully be in jail. Don't like it? Vote. That's it. That's my words of wisdom.
All right, so that's going to do us in this episode before we get any more emotionally charged and completely lose the plot of what we're going to talk about. um, so, also, real quick, Dr. O, the book is finally
Please.
available.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
it is on
I don't have a
Amazon.
copy.
It'll be a link in the description.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
very,
Oh,
very happy for that. Yes.
and then go sign up for the conference
Oh, yes, the conference. Conference.
in
Is there a
Yorktown.
link for that?
Yeah, there's a link. I sent it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
We have
Yeah, we'll
someone
do that.
flying from New York to come see us, which is nuts.
Hey, you'll be there, and then I'll just be at the booth. So that's fine and dandy and all that. So we'll put the link for that conference in the description, and everything else. Um, Dr. O's X profile, the website is going to be in the description. All of our social media stuff is there. So that's it for the both of us in this episode. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in every month, and we will see y'all in the next one.
Be good. Don't be stupid.
Bye, everybody.